Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to the supervisor, Mr. Firdaus, and the examiner. On this occasion, our group will present the results of our project, namely Boba Shop. Okay, let me introduce myself and my partners. I am Muhammad Aryaputra Adji, and my partners are Ahmad, Sufiyan, Tsauri, and Aufa Tamam. We are from class 1 CC1. This is the table diagram in our project. We use 2 schemas and 6 tables that are interconnected. For schemas, there are main and menu. Then for tables, there are personal data, pegawai, drinks, size, topping, and total transaction. In the personal data table, there are 8 columns, including code ID as primary key, which as integer data type. This column aims to mark the personal data. Then the second column is first names, which has varchar data type. This column describes the first names of the employees. Then third column, last name, varchar data type. This column describes last name of the employees. Then the fourth column is age, which has varchar data type. Describe the ages of the employees. Then the fifth column is birth with varchar data type. Describe the birthday of the employees. Then the sixth is address with varchar data type. Describes the home address of the employees. Then the seventh is marital status. Describes the marital status of the employees. Then the eighth is parents' name with varchar data type. Describe the parents' name of the employees. In the pegawai table, there are 6 columns, including ID pegawai as primary key, which has varchar data type. This column aims to mark the pegawai. The second column is code ID with integer data type. This column describes code ID of pegawai. Then third column is names with varchar data type. Describe the names of pegawai. Then fourth column is city, which has varchar data type. This describes the city of pegawai. Then fifth column is gender with varchar data type. This describes the gender of pegawai. Then 6 column is position with varchar data type. This describes the position of the guy.
And in here we have strings table, real-time string ID, data type varchar with it times to use identity of the string info, and strings name, data type varchar with it 115 to use snap of the strings, and price, data type in to use price date of the strings. Next, is table, field name is ID, data type varchar with it 20 to use identity of the size string, and size, data type varchar with it 20 to use size of the strings, and price, data type in to use price of the string. And the last table will explain topping table, field name topping ID, data type varchar with 5 to identity of the topping ID, and topping, data type varchar with 115 to use topping of the string, and price, data type in to use price of the topping.
And after that, we have total transaction table. It consists of transaction ID with varchar data type. The description is the identity of the transaction ID. And then there is string ID with varchar data type. It is to identity code for the drinks. And then the drinks name with varchar data type. It is to name the drinks. And then there is a topping ID with varchar data type. It is also to identify the topping. And then we have size ID with varchar data type. It is for the identity of for the size. And then we have price with int data type. It is used to know the total transaction. And then we have ID pegawai with varchar data type. It is for the ID pegawai of the serving sales. And then we have validation table. First one is pegawai table. The validation required is to ID pegawai should be in this format, as you can see in the presentation. And the method is to check constraint like the statement. We have also the code ID. And the method is not null because the create table the statement. And then we have drinks table. Drink ID should be the format on the presentation, and the method also to check constraint like in the statement. And then we have size table. The size ID it is used with check constraint method. Also with the size, it is also used same method to check constraint. And then we have topping table. Topping ID should be the format below. It is used like check constraint as well. And then we have topping ID should be left and the blank. That's why it's not null. And the final one is the total transaction table. We have drinks ID should not be left in blank. That's why it's not null. And here is the SQL script. You can find it in this link below. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We hope that we can learn from this project as well. And we'll see you next time.